I think humanity has went spiritually asleep somewhere along the way, and we've forgotten who we truly are. And have you noticed that the indigenous tribes, people that live hundreds and maybe even thousands of years ago, seem to know a lot more about the truth of who we are than we do today. We've advanced with technology, busyness, systems, striving and getting and reaching and compiling all these things, but yet losing what matters the most, who we truly are. When I started thinking on this yesterday, I had a vision of The Wizard of Oz, that movie, pop into my mind. And do y'all remember the scene where Dorothy and them are in that field of flowers? I think it was flowers. And they could see the Emerald City. They were almost there. But yet, the flowers put them to sleep. They were poisoned, and they all fell asleep. I feel like that's what we've done in humanity. We have went to sleep on the truths of who we are. What matters the most, how to operate in this world, how to have peace in a storm, how to manifest, how to be one with nature, content with yourself, one with each other, because we're not separate from it. We've got off on this pathway mostly through systems and religious organizations teaching us that we're separate, that we're in this fallen condition. You're a sinner. There's a God in the sky separate. There's a hell waiting on you if you don't comply. All these lies. When the truth Jesus tried to teach us thousands of years ago was no. Nicodemus said, "How do we do the things that you do, Jesus?" And he says, "You must be born again." And what does religion do with that? Tell us to get on our knees and say some prayer, asking Jesus into our hearts, when Jesus never said that. Born again means born of a higher, born from the higher consciousness, born from above. Not another physical birth, not a memorized prayer. You must remember who you are. Wake up. That's what he taught. That was his whole teaching, and many others afterwards. Enlightenment, same thing. Why did we fall asleep in the field? Doesn't it seem the more we keep striving for things and building things and these systems dominating, the more asleep we become? What truly matters the most, we lose even more. But here's the key. It's never really gone. It is within each and every one of us, the truth. It's not only in our physical DNA, I like to call it our spiritual DNA. The truth of who you are is deep within you. But we must disconnect from the busyness. We must go within. We must spend time remembering who we are. The awakening, see, is just the first step of the ladder. We want to stop there and say, "Oh, okay, that's wonderful. I see now. I'm not separate from God. That kingdom of God is within me. I am a unique expression of the divine." That is all true and wonderful. But that's just the beginning, my friends. What good is that as a head knowledge if it doesn't show up in our everyday life, in our relationships, in our finances, in our peace, in our manifestations? You see where I'm going? Oh, awakening is just the beginning. This is why I believe for the past year it's been in my spirit to start the Ark. This is a journey for those awakening all along the way. That community is for that, because we can go so much further than knowing we're not separate from a God and knowing that the systems have hoodwinked us. But don't you want to live victoriously? I know I do, and I want you to. Yeah, that's why the Ark exists. That's what it is in a nutshell. I can't wait to see how it impacts myself and others, because we were meant to wake up. We're not meant to be asleep and feeling separate and anxious and lonely, living in poverty and lack. Healing is not supposed to be some miracle. It's supposed to be an expression of knowing who you are. That's the Garden of Eden I'm talking about. That's the paradise. That's the Christ consciousness.